We watched Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade.
Is it really the last?
No spoilers! Hello, welcome to Visual Recreation. I'm Drew, and this is my pal Joey. How you doing, Joey?
I'm doing really well. How are you?
See.
Okay, so now we are in the middle of our Indiana Jones film franchise
Smack dab in
review
the
/
middle.
critique series. And this time we're talking about The Last Crusade. Now we follow Indiana Jones as he goes on an adventure to rescue his father, find the Holy Grail, and find a bit of romance along the way.
Yeah, a little bit too much romance, if I do say so myself. Now, Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade premiered in 1989, starring Harrison Ford as Indiana Jones and the legendary actor Sean Connery as Papa Jones.
Papa Jones.
It was written by Jeffrey Boehm, who wrote some Lethal Weapon movies, I think 2 and 3 to be in particular, and The Lost Boys, and it was directed by Steven Spielberg, of course.
Of course.
Who else would direct it?
Yeah, who else? In its opening weekend, The Last Crusade made over $37 million in just over 2,300 theaters in late May of 1989. It would go on to getting a worldwide gross of $474 million plus, which is more than the previous 2 installments overall with its worldwide gross.
That's right. Now, this is the highest rated movie within the Indiana Jones franchise on Rotten Tomatoes by the critics, and it's a close second with the audience score. I think the audience score was like a 94%. While Raiders of the Lost Ark is a 96%. So
Yes.
mainly the audience just likes Raiders just a little bit more than this movie. Now, I'm going to turn it over to you, Joey, now that we got all those specs out of the way. What are your overall thoughts of Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade?
Very well done movie. I really like it.
Well done.
Well done, Spielberg.
Yeah,
I mean,
man.
I really enjoyed the Raiders of the Lost Ark. And this kind of brought the same aspects of that movie that I really enjoyed into The Last Crusade.
Feel that if
Yeah.
you like Raiders, you're going to like The Last Crusade.
Yeah, because you're dealing with the same, you're dealing with Nazi Germany, the same type of aspects. You had the Ark of the Covenant, now you have the Holy Grail. So.
Yeah, I really liked Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Okay.
And I would have to say I like The Last Crusade a little bit more. I have to say it edged it out. I really enjoyed this one. I think the comedy was on point. I thought the action was on point. And I think it's just iconic with the Holy Grail, with the whole sipping and walking across the giant gap, not knowing if it's a leap of faith or you're going to just die to your death.
Same aspects that people enjoyed, that I enjoyed, was in this movie. So some of the good parts. What are some of the good parts that stood out to you?
I think the iconic no ticket.
Yes.
I think getting on the blimp and then about to be found out, he just has this fight in front of everybody and just throws him off right before takeoff. And then he just turns around to everybody just staring at him. And then he's just like, no ticket.
Everyone's like, I gotta get my ticket right away.
Please, don't beat me up and throw me out.
Don't throw me out this blimp. Yeah, that's an awesome scene. One of my all-time favorites is the library scene. He's going to hit it, and the librarian has the stamp.
Oh, yeah.
Boom! Just looks at the stamp, like, what is going on? Yeah. That's awesome.
I think the overall storyline was really well done and really well executed. Like, there was no point out of place, in my opinion. I thought that everything progressed in a very strong manner. Like, when he was looking for the dad, they got split up. And then once he found the dad, he had to go back to find the people that he was with already, like Salah and everybody. And then they were taken off. So then you have to go back and further to find them. It's a story, and it's an adventure and a plot that was just, I felt, was really smooth overall. And it could have been jumbled up way too much with a lot of moving parts. I just think they handled it really, really well.
Yeah, I mean, they kept the mystery of, like, the clues and stuff alive. Like, with the book, Indiana Jones, his father's book, that's what I'm trying to say. I don't know what I'm trying to say now.
His journal?
His journal, yeah.
Oh, my boy, you have to get my journal.
Yeah, so they kept the mystery alive with that, meaning that there was still some clues that they needed from the book in order to get to the Holy Grail, so then they had to head back to Berlin to retrieve the book, and that brought up a really funny scene to me where they take out the Nazis, they dress up like the soldiers, and then they're going through the book burning ceremony, and he goes right up to Hitler.
That shocked me. I'm not gonna lie, that shocked me.
And he was like freaking out in his mind, and Hitler's just like, okay, autograph? There you go, get out of the way.
I was pretty shocked about that scene.
Yeah. The whole comedy aspect to it, just like in Raiders, the way they mix in the funny with the serious,
yes.
Especially when they're tied up back to back in the chairs trying to escape. He drops the lighter, sets the room on fire.
Yes.
They get into the fireplace and spin around between the Nazi intel people, and like it was great.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No,
I could describe like all the scenes.
Yeah, I mean, this was a fantastic movie. Some of the parts that I was just like, why is this in here?
Like bad stuff.
Indiana. Well, I don't know if it's all bad stuff, but it's just like stuff that is like kind of sticks out in your mind. Like, why? And it's like the Indiana Jones and his dad, like, was with the same woman type of thing, and they kept bringing it up. Like, hey, let's not do that.
Right.
Like,
yeah.
I don't know. I feel like it would be awkward. Just because I felt awkward, and it wasn't me and my dad doing that kind of thing, so it's just weird.
Yeah, that was a pretty weird aspect of it.
But I get it, because it's like, it's kind of like he was James Bond, and that was what James Bond did, was kind of do all that stuff, so it's kind of like a nod to the whole James Bond franchise, like, oh, Sean Connery's still a ladies' man, and then...
Well, and also, she lured him in as well.
I mean, I don't know how much he had to lure him in. I mean, he seemed like he was just comfortable in that tower, ready to hit anybody over the head with that vase. Or vase.
Yeah, it was a knockoff vase.
Yeah, luckily.
Yeah. Besides that was not good about the film.
I think I was more questioning on, like, the knight that was stuck in there for, I don't know, how many years was it? Like 700?
700 years or
700
something.
years? Yeah. Like, how is he not bored? How is he still alive?
Maybe he slept all the time.
I mean, it's just a lot. I know when I'm... like, just chilling out and my internet goes out for like 20 minutes, I'm bored. So I don't know how this like dude is just like chilling in there like, is today the day that somebody's gonna show up and drink from a cup? Like, this should be cool. like
yeah.
I don't know.
I think he's like, he keeps maintenance on all the booby traps, polishes the saw blades,
make sure
they still work.
I don't know, but I was just like, man, he's just like chilling in there with all of his chainmail and everything, his robes. He's decked out, and he's just like, I'm still here. And then I felt bad for him at the end, because the girl's taking the cup over the seal, which she said, don't do that. You know what? It's kind of like it's kind of like when you're at your grandparents' house and you like had a cup of Kool-Aid. It's like, you can take it out to the living room, but just don't spill it. Just don't you dare do it.
You know that's set up for disaster. Don't spill it.
And then the whole thing breaks, and he's just like, man,
destroyed his home.
700 years, everything was kosher, and now
I feel like he was finally happy to see people after 700 years, because he goes. He just can't handle the sword anymore. He puts it down. He's like, okay, whatever. Find the cup. Find the right cup, and you'll be good. And then at the end, everything's getting destroyed. He's like, bye.
All right, so Joey, we're coming up to the end.
Oh,
do you think this holds up?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it holds up. You don't necessarily need to jump into Temple of Doom. You can just watch Raiders, and you can just watch this one. You'll be fine.
I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
I wasn't a huge fan of Temple, so it kind of goes with that. I think it holds up. I mean, this is my first time viewing the whole thing, and that was like, what, 2020? I'm watching this, and this was done in 1989. I think it's a really good film. I think it's really fun run, and especially when you can't leave your house. You're a night in itself, just sitting here, which feels like 700 years.
The night of quarantine.
That's exactly how it is. So what's some of your final thoughts, and what's your final rating for this movie, Joey? Keeping in mind what you rated the other ones.
I'm well aware what I rated Raiders of the Lost Ark. I'm not too worried about what I rated Temple of Doom. But this is one of my favorite out of Indiana Jones, along with Raiders of the Lost Ark. So I've been thinking about this for the past few weeks, actually, what I'm going to rate it. Oh. And it's still a tough decision, because I think the story holds up. I think the comedic timing holds up. I think the character, Indiana Jones, holds up a lot. Like it worked. What happens in Last Crusade works because of what happened in Raiders of the Lost Ark. Like
yes,
it makes sense. The characters hold up. The whole film is really good to watch today. So, gosh, this is tough, man, because I really like Raiders of the Lost Ark, and I know I gave it a 9.5.
Yes, you did.
And so
if you like this movie a lot more,
see, this one had
way up.
This one had the whole tank scene.
Yes.
Too, where he's hanging on to the gun, about to be drug into the side of the rocks and everything. Yeah, that was a really cool scene. Gosh, so many really cool scenes in this movie.
Yes.
I don't know. I think I'm gonna slightly edge out Raiders of the Lost Ark. I'm taking a long time here because I still haven't came up with my rating. We'll go with a 9.6.
Wow. Okay.
That's how close they are.
Just slightly.
Just slightly over.
Just slightly.
I mean, I could watch them both all day. Like, I really like them. So.
That's up to you. I really enjoyed this one. Like you said, there's a lot of good parts in it. There's a lot of fun scenes. There's a lot of fun adventure to it. A lot of comedy. A lot of heart. So I know I've given Raiders an 8. Temple is definitely going to be stuck in my third wheel for now. And I'm going to give it an 8.5 for Last Crusade.
Nice.
Yep. That's what I think.
Higher ratings, or we have high ratings is what I'm trying to say. I don't know. This episode's over. That's what we thought of The Last Crusade. Let us know what your thoughts are. If you enjoyed it, if you thought it held up today or not, leave that in the comment section below.
That's right. So we'll see y'all next time for the last and final portion of the Indiana Jones saga.
Wait, this was The Last Crusade?
No, it was not. Well, this is The Last Crusade for The Last Crusade, but we have one more.
Another crusade?
A crusade for a crystal skull.
Oh, yeah.
So join us next week for that.